Spanish Flea. I reckon. This is the worst intro to a video.
What, 1 minute? 1 minute.
Get out.
1 minute.
We've literally been listening to this song for about half an hour now. I'm about ready to kill them.
Yes, you're driving you mental.
I've had enough. Oh, connection unstable.
Oh. Hang on, let's try my personal hotspot. Oh. See if that's any better. If it's dodgy, let us know.
It's fucking so dodgy. It's 9 o'clock, Cliff. It's 9 o'clock. Let's go.
It seems to be stable again. Thumbs up if you can see us and hear us over that.
No, we don't do that manager stuff here. 4 people now.
Oh.
There will be no more Spanish Flea.
Hello! Welcome to WRWR Pod with myself, Cliff Foster, aka the amazing Cliff, on the old Twitter, and I'm accompanied by this handsome young bugger.
I, of course, am 6 stars for Meltzer.
Too sweet
For the club. More Simpsons refs than your mate down the pub. I'm on the list of Jericho. We've kicked all the asses. Cliff, get ready. We're going to need a couple glasses.
No, I'm going there. You could do.
Technically. I mean, well, we'll drink these for now. Hey! So firstly, everyone, cheers. Thank you ever so much. WRW Pod 50 would not be here without all of you guys supporting us and being there for every single one of us all along the way. So all the memories we've created, all the fun we've had, it's all been because of you guys, our friends. So thank you.
Thank you. And so obviously we just recorded the beginning of the podcast. The podcast is really weird. It's been made. Toby, as you were here on the podcast when you listen back to it, he has no idea what's coming. I mean, generally doesn't. You have a general idea of some bits that we've discussed.
Yeah, as I say, like I've been messaging. I've been asking what you want to hear. We've had some suggestions, but honestly, I have no real idea what's coming.
But this does.
Dun dun dun.
Bum bum bum.
I have no clue what's coming. None at all. So I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited.
And we're going to listen through. You guys have got the world exclusive of hashtag WRWPod 50. And it's coming your way in a couple of seconds' time. Obviously, we've got the comments box. I see a couple of your comments in already. Mm-hmm. We've got, of course, MWR Podcast. Hello.
Good, brother Simon. What's good, my man?
If you want to listen to another podcast, go and listen to him. We've got Tonya.
Hey.
And we've got one of the wrestling friends.
Shagger.
Top Elid.
Top Shagger.
Top Elid.
Cheers, Shagger.
Oh, go on. Raise the bastard. So if you are joining us at any point, please comment along. If you have questions to ask us, bits and pieces like that, please, we'll try and answer them as best we can. It's going to be a bit of a trip down memory lane. We might go on a complete ramble, but that's WRW Pod, isn't it?
When do we not ramble, Cliff? I mean, I'm pretty sure we said we'll keep the intro to a tight 2 minutes.
Yeah. Ads. Yeah, it's now. Well, don't know. Look, it's 3 minutes past. Yeah, but we were dancing for most of that.
I suppose so.
So let's listen to the podcast.
Isn't that just a story of our lives?
I deleted it. I was just about to make a joke of let's listen to the podcast, play the Spanish Flea again.
Now we'll be
gone for about 5
Spanish
minutes.
Flea.
So are you ready?
More.
Are
Mate.
you ready?
Ready.
Listen out. And obviously, if you cannot hear it, let us know. Because there's something very special about to introduce us to hashtag. Actually, do you know what? Let's make sure I stand up a little bit more. Come on, speaker. You could do this. Something special is just about intro us in.
Hello, this is King Ricochet, and you're listening to WRWR Podcast.
Taken by yourself, if you remember right.
Can you
feel alone.
Can you guys actually hear the podcast in the background?
Thumbs up.
Cool. Yes. Trust Shagger to find the R's.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We have thought noise.
So, ladies and gentlemen, WRW Pod 50
A little bit more.
is coming
Wicked theme tune.
your way.
That was very cleanly done.
I'm a pro opening Prosecco, Cliff. I'm the
Hello! That's where you shut that.
I'm the oh, that's a new one. I'm the Prince of Prosecco.
Don't add
I
to
think
it.
that's going to be a new one, the Prince of Prosecco. Right.
Just seen Joe Hendry beat to beat.
Oh, Joe Hendry.
So basically, we're outside, as you can hear out of this, outside the engine rooms in
My
Southampton.
voice is destroyed, isn't it?
What the highlight for you guys? What really made that show? Oh, fuck. It's got to be Fox X still. I still fucking love that. Chris Renfrew came through. Yeah. I've never fucking
That's
seen
Stephen and Todd.
Jeez. Saw it.
One of the originals. They were really the two originals.
The wrestling friends.
You are shocked. Is that you bruised your lungs at that event?
That was the. Was this the one down in Southampton?
Yeah.
Yes, it was. Yeah. Oh. No one does media around here without Joe Hendry.
You might remember me. I am the guy who messaged you about the local hero T-shirt, and I did not disappoint.
Yo, he did not disappoint.
No, like he messaged the Ojimo about the t-shirts. He's messaged Trent Seven about t-shirts. He's messaged Paul Robinson about t-shirts. He's messaged quite a few people.
Shame that tonight. Yeah, you win some.
There you go. Brilliant media skills there. I think that's the only question.
We were just so taken aback.
It was just so out of the blue because he came up behind us. Generally, we didn't know he was coming. He literally just came up behind us and then started speaking into the mic, leaning over. We had no idea he was there, and this is only our second podcast.
Indeed.
So only second podcast we ever did.
What I found the best thing was we were obviously outside, like interviewing people and stuff, and Joe completely came out without us even knowing he was going to be there. And it was like right at the end, when I said, no, like, thank you much. And he was like, no, sorted out a t-shirt, got in the interview, good luck, lads. And you're like, amazing.
Put us on our way. And we said that from that moment on, we were like, well, everything else is just going to be a bit of a letdown, but I'm sure you'll hear a couple of other interviews and opportunities that we've had.
Spoilers, Cliff, spoilers! Local hero!
I miss that gimmick so much. Do you like, is the prestigious one as good as Local Hero?
I think the prestigious one works very well for Joe. But the Local Hero is you'll never beat the If You Want Some entrance thing. A great
Everyone waving.
Yeah.
It was my first ever ICW show as well.
Have you done that one?
No, I think it's over there.
Thank you. Do you know what?
Add the atmosphere, Tobes. Add the atmosphere. So that was weird. Did you hear that? I said so at the same time I did on there. Toby's mucking about with lights. But that was our first ever interview with anybody. Toby smashed out of the ballpark.
Cliff does love. There you go. Cliff does love a good. So.
Of course.
Of course. Probably. Right. God, listen to the sound quality.
Well, this was multiple people.
Oh. Ooh. This is breaking news.
Is it?
Is this it? Yes.
So you hear us references a lot when Robbie's in the shed.
You can hear the giggling. I know what's coming.
So we sat around and we were in a break, and I think it might have been Roderick that brought it up, saying, why don't we call it Shove It Up Your Turkey? It's a world exclusive. We've never actually made it go out live.
This has never seen the light of day
And
before.
Robbie was like, let's do it. After sitting down with Robbie for about 20 minutes, go back and forth with him, going, are you sure you want to call it Shove It Up Your Turkey?
Yes.
Yes.
There are literal bits in this where you will hear me go, I can't believe I've convinced him to call it.
What's Christmas meant to be? Fun.
Oh, it's
I cannot believe, even for a short amount of time,
It was
we
called
convinced the
Shove It
promoter
Up Your
to
Turkey.
call his Christmas show Shove It Up Your Turkey. Robbie, We love you.
But I don't love you for the phone call afterwards saying, is there any way of editing this out? That's why you've got the turkey sound on there. Because if I had edited like you wanted me, every bit out, it would just make fuck all sense. It would have made no sense whatsoever. Shoving up your turkey.
Amazing. Wow. I'm having the best time.
Oh, Scrappy Jackson. Do you remember this segment?
Scrappy Jack, here's to you, buddy. Cheers.
Hello and welcome. With the news guest.
Vincent Price.
If you are calling about the feats, my grandson Jody is already.
This was our least listened to podcast. I'm not joking you either. And
Damn that infernal clutch.
this was one of our least listened to podcasts. Now,
Turkeys.
Yeah, turkeys. And this, I was listening back, and this was such a missing.
You're nearly 30, man. Thanks for saying I'm nearly 30. I actually am 30.
I'm older.
Really scares us. Really scares.
Can't believe you let me do a Vincent Price impression for a good 2 minutes. It's a good one.
The problem was with this episode it was when WWE was like the whole question mark of if they were going to go to Saudi Arabia or not a bit. The problem was this is where you sort of have to learn in this world. If you start heavily advertising that sort of thing, people just don't listen to it. And there was news coming out all the time, so people just thought it was dated almost instantly. And this is actually one of the best segments we've ever done. So we did a Halloween segment, as you can hear in the background, and we were doing all our bits that we hated in wrestling. So we might stay silent in this because I've listened to it in full, but you haven't ever listened to
Turn
it.
the product slightly clear.
Oh.
And it's not because
Thank you.
It doesn't make sense or any of that shit, because wrestling doesn't make sense.
It really
But
does.
I just don't like it. It just seems unnecessarily dangerous for me. It's unnecessarily dangerous.
Which move is
The
this,
guy
Clef?
performing the move? Fine, most of the time. But then the guy who has to take the
that
back
better?
on his head, and you're trying to stop people falling on their head.
Oh, it's just so unnecessary.
So would you put it in
Clef.
the category of, let's say, a sit-down power
I think I don't know. I think one day a move like that will go wrong if it hasn't already, but we just don't know about it.
That ICW one went wrong with bloody Stevie Boy to
I
Wolfgang.
don't like it.
Did it go wrong?
Right, you bloody look like it went wrong. There is no need for reverse hurricane runs. There's no need for them. They're unnecessary. They're dangerous. And when I see one on the hardest part of the ring, believe it or not,
Really?
the hardest part
No
of the
one's
ring, I
ever mentioned
never.
this.
That's
It's just so
Like,
unnecessary.
back in the day, they were great, but recently,
Woo, loudly.
This year's. Oh my Gideon! I don't want to see that again in my life. I don't want to see that again because both me and
I mean,
you in the world thing.
They do look good.
We
But they look terrifying, and I wince every time.
We're like, she ain't hitting.
Adam,
It reminds
still a
me
right
of,
22
when
me.
she
Top
wrestled
shagging
Trish
age.
Stratus.
Top shagging age.
landed on her face, but her legs
Top
keep
healing.
going over.
Yes.
Like, "Whoa!"
Every Sasha Banks bloody
Oh.
suicide dive. There he
Just
is.
Yeah.
stop, Sasha, stop.
You've got to kill
Stop,
yourself.
please.
So go on to your next
Suicide dives in
Big
general.
E's spear
just-
through the ropes. He's now
there's
stopped doing.
Not many people
Just
can do them
every
well.
time he lands on his head.
Yeah.
Every time.
Oh, the Big E
Stop
suicide
it,
dive.
Big E. Nobody's making you do this. Nobody.
He must
So-
weigh
so
about
so
300.
One thing that
Well, at least by WWE standards.
Yeah.
Because you always have
He's
an
at
extra
least
50 pounds.
350
Always
pounds
have
by
an extra
WWE
50.
standards. Yeah, definitely.
Do you remember the New Day segment we were doing where I was talking about
Um,
Big E
I
being the
don't know,
first
I
one to
don't
win the
think
title?
it's overtime.
We did
I would say
actually, you know,
a
one
couple
thing that didn't
people
make
might
this, sorry for spoilers for you,
But
was
I
we did a
hope
bow
that
yeah
with
of
the
3 years ago almost of if
It
the New
literally
Day should split up.
ended
before
Sting.
that thing, yeah.
Yeah.
All
And
the
I don't know.
things Sting has been
I don't know if they
through.
should
We
or not,
finally
yeah.
saw him in the WWE.
No,
We
I-
finally saw him, and then
When it
His
does
biggest
happen,
achievement
it's still got to
was
be Big E
Triple
and
H
Woods
after
turning on
Hulk
Hogan. It's still got to happen.
in a weird NWO versus
Ooh, we got a
DX,
Facebook
despite
message.
Sting being constantly
Go ahead.
So,
posted
so
on
Cliff from
WWE.
Super Mega Rate's laptop tells us.
This one hasn't got super mega aids, thank you.
so go on to your next one.
Previous one did.
What else?
Now,
Gary?
this one for me, I'm going to take it back into something that actually storyline was meant to be quite scary, and genuinely was. And that's Kane's debut at Bad Blood '97 in your house.
Yes.
JR.
Did that genuinely scare you when you were little?
I was 8.
What, 97?
Was it?
Hitting
I was
the
8.
old intro
I was
music.
11. No, yeah, I was
gotta be
11.
Kane.
Fit him
That's
so
gotta
well.
be
You're just seeing
Kane.
this guy come down.
I loved him, though.
mask
He
with
was-
the red and the black.
I think
JR
because
sold
I
it
quite
perfectly.
liked
That's gotta
Taker.
be Kane. And I'm like,
But
what
Kane
the
was like
fuck
the
is
cooler
going on?
version of Taker.
I think it was
8-year-old
to me saw
Kane
that.
looked the best.
And
When he
just
inverted
didn't
the
know what to
costume,
do.
and he had the
That
black with the
genuinely
red
scared me.
bits.
When he
Like,
was-
people
he
go
was-
on
he
to
did that when he was
scare
teaming with
music,
X
everything
Pac,
about
didn't he?
it.
He did for a while, yeah. And we were all waiting for the
Actually,
green
I
Kane.
found-
We were all
yeah,
waiting
Kane
for
was
green
more
Kane.
Because that was the big rumor that went around.
Because he when he went, "Suck it."
Yeah,
We
yeah.
were like, oh shit.
There was like pictures at that time, like that go around school.
They were doctored.
Yeah, yeah.
They were doctored.
But they used to go around
Yes.
school so often when I was a kid.
And then Tori turned on it, didn't she?
Mm.
was genuinely quite a scary moment. What did he look like? For years we've not known what he looked like. He's been burned. He's disfigured. And I was like,
Emotionally
"Whoa."
burned.
Emotionally scarred.
And all of a sudden, it's like his face looks a little bit ashy. Until that point, yeah. So, up until this year.
That's really weird.
He's
been disfigured. His
face looks
a little bit
ashy. Like makeup
I'm
went
carry
wrong.
on with the list of Ashy wrestlers that scare me.
Mm.
Sue Young.
Yes.
Mm.
So
Still.
Sue Young, of course, I've just come to.
So young.
And it's my
But I was listening to this segment. It's one of the best segments we've done, like in these sort of talking moments.
I don't know. I don't know if I mentioned it at the time or not, but something that scares me.
freaks the
Like,
shit out.
at WCW House of Horrors match where they killed Abdullah the Butcher by putting him in an electric chair. They killed a man. And we did nothing. We sat by him. We watched.
The blood
Arn would be proud of you.
Arn would be so
I'll tell you what it is.
Go on.
Sheer-
Comments box. What scares you in wrestling?
It's a
3,
complete
2,
Silent Hill. That's
1,
what it is. They
go.
move like-
Let's see what scares you. We're waiting. We're
They
waiting.
move like Silent Hill.
We're waiting for you.
Jerky to the music as well, and it's
Generally
it
waiting.
just freaks me out. I don't quite know
Go
what
on.
to make of it. Sometimes
Go on.
Say quick! Say quicker! Say quicker! No! Don't hold me back!
Hold it to speaker.
Freaks me out. I don't quite like
It's wireless, but I'm scared of
It's not
unplugging
right,
it.
is it?
Oh, yeah,
The
true.
movements aren't right.
Because this hasn't been charged for at least 3 years.
Cool.
Go to
It's good
Look at
This
this
week,
speaker, innit?
I'm going to bring up a particular Lucha Underground match. It's Sexy Star versus
No
Manny
Mas.
Rosa in a No Mas match.
Yeah.
Which in Spanish means
Nada
one clip,
más.
no more.
which translated into English as a match type would be an I Quit match.
I quit match. Yeah,
Exactly.
But nada
Um,
más
So
means more.
seeing those
Never
two
forget.
wrestle and what happened in that, the brutality of that, I've not seen brutality like that in some men's matches. The fact it was these two women going at it, that was once again, I've never seen something
Sexy
like
Star.
No.
Whatever happened to her? eh?
She legitimately tried to break someone.
That scares me in professional wrestling. Is she even allowed to wrestle anywhere?
I don't think she's getting booked
Still
very
need to
much
see it. I
anymore.
wasn't ever a big.
This is a long segment. Oh, we got one.
Got overshadowed by the kid. It literally, it did. Thank you, Shagger. Yes, it did. That yeah, the Hell of War match was amazing. Dante, Killshot, who was Shane Strickland.
Because I wasn't really a big Lucha Underground fan. So.
Shane Strickland, who's now signed to WWE Developmental.
But
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, Shane Strickland. Yeah, you are completely right there, Shagger. It really was. Strickland, Dante Fox was
Another one that
amazing.
terrifies me is
Number one?
It's in general, I suppose, and that's when
I know it's
wrestlers come up too soon.
Still
and this
agree with
could
that.
Always scares me when I come up too soon.
be- we can talk about
But it's still true, though. It's still true.
you know, a great.
Even if you,
Even
even if you're talking about someone like Drew Galloway, fuck off, he's Drew Galloway.
He is Drew Galloway.
a great.
I still think he's had that moment this year so far.
What, Galloway coming up too soon?
Where's he in the cards at the moment?
He's literally in the biggest thing going on SmackDown. He's involved in the biggest thing going on SmackDown. He's on both shows. Cliff. He's on Raw and SmackDown.
When was the last time he won a match?
Now, this is one thing where I will disagree. I genuinely think with Drew Galloway, it doesn't matter because the ways he's lost matter with Drew Galloway. I think I'll be honest. He kicks the shit out. You do it. He's put strong every time.
So,
Oh God, you said 83. Hang on, we should play a drinking game every time that Toby says 83 weeks. You have to take a drink.
83 weeks. love 83 weeks.
We're still waiting for you. Come on, somebody must have something that
He
scares them.
was a
Leather
world
glass.
champion. He was
You
being
can't
pushed
get the
in
glass.
parade.
Come on with
Where are
this.
they?
Oh.
Yeah.
And basically,
Excuse me, pardon me,
Mind
coming
the beer,
through.
mind the
Pardon
beer.
me.
Get your out out.
because it would have
Come
been
on.
great for Jericho.
There must be something that scares you guys out there.
The right thing by his career. Ruined Goldberg. Red Jericho would have rang circles around him.
And you see this a
Correct,
lot
it would have done.
see that a wrestler will be.
See, I'm trying to add
Sometimes
all of the
you
bits that
see
make
that
WRW Pod great, and we've got some of the mid segments coming up as well. Some of the true classic mid
I remember
segments.
seeing, we saw Drew Parker at a previous event where he decided.
You guys are all aware of the Goldberg Chris Jericho story,
I
right?
saw that he was going up against
Kennel from Hell, fucking terrifying.
Kennel from Hell.
Have you never seen the Kennel from Hell?
No.
Oh my god, it's fucking dog shit.
What is Kennel from
Do you see
Hell?
what I did there? Basically, the Kennel from Hell was Al Snow versus the Big Boss Man. And I think it was.
Oh shit! Yes, I do remember it.
Shit,
Yeah.
I see what you did there. Basically, it was no, the idea. Yeah, literally, the idea for this was
I do
literally
remember
foolproof.
that.
It was foolproof. A cage inside a Hell in a Cell, really exciting, and there's dogs on the outside, but the dogs are so fucking tranked. Literally, like they're shitting on the floor.
I do remember,
They do
yes.
not want to be there. But I remember watching it at the time thinking, this is fucking sweet. But that's because I was 10. And all 10-year-olds are stupid.
Top shagging. Jess Havoc's Tombstone from the ropes.
Yes.
Jess
Yes,
Havoc.
it's Jessica Havoc.
Oh, Jessica Havoc. Yeah.
That is, once again, it falls into the category. Yeah, it falls into the category of unnecessary. It's an
Quite
unnecessary.
fitting you said Tombstone, and then Toby says that on the pod.
The bit at the end of the bit at the end of Backlash, where the Backlash '99, where the Undertaker kidnaps Stephanie McMahon. He's like, "Where to, Stephanie?"
Yeah, no, I think sit down hard drivers have to be in there as well. And they do make me rinse every time. Even like when Trent did his from the top rope to win the ICW championship. That was
necessary.
No.
That one was necessary. We're having a party with Trent the champ.
He's not gonna be.
Don't you?
Anything for you that should be scary but isn't?
Yeah, that's the end of the.
Turn it off. Turn this shit off. No more.
Are we talking about the Halloween?
Right at the beginning was quite scary.
House Horrors match.
We're talking. I literally said Bray at the beginning was quite scary. Is the setup ones are probably the most dangerous? Let's not forget Owen Hart. Yeah, that's Stone Cold. So true. Now the original Bray Wyatt scary. Middle Bray Wyatt. What the fuck is going on? New Bray Wyatt. They fucking nailed it. They have nailed this. And I think
Rudy's agreeing with me as well.
I really think they're going to give Bray the mandible claw. That's why they had him use it on Mick Foley.
I really want it. I hope that's the passing of
And I hope it's the real one. You know, the two fingers under the tongue and the thumb under the chin. That's how it should actually be.
Yeah.
I really hope they give Bray this move because they are recycling old moves now. With obviously KO getting the stunner, which I think it works.
Unless Shane's not taking it.
It's the stunner is still such a protected move now that John Cena's not gone. You know, although for Liam Pleasure, the Trapper Keeper is fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
But
then
KO's
still-
sit-down pile driver was
Still,
amazing.
Stevie, would you agree that Stevie Boy's versus Rana was beautiful?
No,
So
it was
double
unnecessary.
But it's
Unnecessary. I don't care. There was no
Absolutely
need for it.
to do it from the reversal like he did for the first one. Beautiful.
Simpler times. Simpler times. Have you got any others? No.
You have to. So the joys of editing these sort of things is you have to know when to edit it.
Have you got any others?
We're over. That's the end of WRW. This is the end of wrestling, lads. It's game over. We've completed it.
We did over 10 episodes.
You know what one thing that really scares me is in toilet and hearing. Hello, every night.
Funny joke. What we got next? I have no idea what we got next.
Right.
It might be a bit muffled to you because it's coming through these speakers.
This is muffled for me and I'm sat next to it.
Sorry, I'll tell you a story.
Yeah.
It's my mate. My mate, Paul Robinson.
Oh, this is where I used to live. The geezers come around and clip my windows. Right, and I've got like, oh mate, it's still being recorded. I've got like indicator in the window. It's just cracked a little bit. Comes a car, don't cost me nothing. Not to get repaired.
If you can't hear this, please comment.
Down the road after, right? You're like, he's pulled over, got the flags. Pulled up. He didn't even know about it. Poor geezer, he's like in his 50s. Right?
So basically, if you can't hear it, it's Paul Robinson saying that he went into character to scare a poor bloke in his 50s who took off his wing mirror, and he produced his wallet, saw a load of cash in there, and took the cash from the bloke.
Hang on, are we just condoning robbery?
Top parenting, yeah. Last couple of months. Ooh. $7 hour.
See,
Private,
the main joke of this is that's not Dan Seven's thing.
and that's because one day we were singing it because we talk about Dan Seven, started singing that theme tune. Both of us then clicked, going, "That was Steve Blackman's theme tune." So that's the running joke with that. That's why it's called the Dan Seven Jukebox Hour and Steve Blackman's music plays, because we both messed up. But favourite match the last couple of months or so. Oh, do you know what? I'm gonna go to Progress, and
so I'm going.
Progress, and actually a show that I've just been to.
Oh,
new
so
show!
I was at a show.
New show. And that has to actually be the women's four-way they had, and there is a women's wrestler that everyone should go and check out. And I forgot her name.
The Wild Child, the girl on the skateboard, right?
Yes,
So if
I can't remember her name.
If somebody guesses it on the
Cliff, you can guess my one. It was from Progress. We wrapped the weekend.
If somebody guesses
What's the best match I've seen in the last few months?
You'll get 3 points. If you get question number 2, you get 2
Was it?
points.
We've literally just heard him tell a story.
So Robbo versus Havoc.
Deathmatch, absolutely.
Well, you are a deathmatch pervert.
I am a deathmatch pervert, but absolutely, it was. Death matches have got to have a certain amount of emotion behind them. They've got to make you feel something. If you don't leave a death match shocked, the match has failed. So deathmatch of one, the emotion of it being Havoc's last match.
Yeah.
2, him coming out to I Hope You Suffer. Cliff, the most aggressive singing I've ever heard from Cliff, was incredible. But yeah, that death match.
Jack
Havoc
Gallagher.
versus Robbo was
I'm meaning to watch that, Adam. Actually,
and the fact Robbo won as well makes it.
but
Yes, yes.
Adam, that I need to go and watch that. That's meant to be absolutely
I've heard such
fantastic.
good things about that. I do need to watch it. You seen Fandango has come back into NXT.
Should right as well.
So, will gain
This
Ishii
is
versus Jeff Cobb. Yes, Rudy. Incredible shout. Yes, agreed. Amazing.
so. This is the Dan Seven Jukebox Hour. If you haven't heard it already, this is where we have to sing a theme tune, write the theme tune, sing the theme tune.
Your
Where's
laptop,
my
you don't have
Prosecco?
to-
You tell me.
You've still got beer, haven't you?
Yes, but I can mix. And good luck. Wish me luck, gentlemen. So Dan Seven Jukebox Hour. What we used to have to do, if you've never heard one, is
Not sing
Sing
the
it.
theme. Cheers, Cliff.
we used to have to sing a theme tune and guess it. So this is the best one I found.
Was this the first one we did?
No.
Oh, this one, God.
So if you can guess it, go on, let's speak one. Oh, up.
I know this one.
Come on, somebody must guess it. Come on, somebody guess it. Guess it.
Can I have the other bit again?
Do the other bit again.
What other bit? One full loop. Come on, somebody guess it. Before the
Bobby Broad's TNA.
No.
Clue. He was in.
No.
Clue.
The clues are on here.
Okay.
Don't you give them clues.
Don't you give them clues?
I'm gonna get one guess.
So you've got one guess. You've got one guess. First of all,
One
you only
guess to
get
rule
one
them
guess
all.
on each of them. You can't just keep shouting fucking answers.
Rhodes. Yeah, Bobby
Bobby.
Rhodes.
All right.
Bobby Rhodes.
So are
Nope.
you ready to guess? Yes. Who are you guessing?
Is it Dan Severn?
No, it was never going to be Dan Severn.
What we do every time we do.
I think that's the first one. This is the second
Okay,
one we
so
ever
you want
did.
the first
The
one.
first one you guessed Dan Sevens as well. Straight away.
This wrestler
Yes.
was born in August 27th, 1948.
Oh, of course.
Of course.
Do you want to know the town?
Yes.
Detroit.
God
Michigan.
bless Wikipedia.
God bless Wikipedia. I mean, I already know the answer to this, and I've still got nothing.
Go on.
Stop whispering. You're right away from the mic and you're whispering.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. He's in the 80s.
Do you want to take a guess?
So 80s wrestler.
I know the theme, and this is what's really bothering me. I'm singing it in my head. I will guess. I know it's not right, but
I don't get this one.
Owen Hart.
Does that sound like Owen Hart's
It doesn't sound like Owen Hart, but I
Also, I'm not by 2 points.
Enough is enough, and it's time for a change.
WWE Championship only the once. However,
No.
he was inducted to the Hall of Fame back in 2004, which is quite funny because we keep mentioning that bloody year.
I don't get the joke inside.
No, I can't remember
I
that.
can't remember why that was so funny about 2004. You get it.
If you've got it,
Wait, do I get it?
anything
Do I-
before,
do I
be
guess the
honest,
answer?
put it on the Facebook
You get it.
page. Tell us where you got it. Go on.
No, this is going to piss me off
Guess.
so much. It's not.
Come on, Tobe, you can do this.
I'm trying to think of a one time. Sergeant Slaughter.
Yes! Of course it is. Well done, Tobe.
Listen how well I did it.
My last clue
Yes.
was that he famously switched countries at a WrestleMania.
How would you guys feel if we were to bring the Dan Severn jukebox hour
I
back?
think it's one of the best segments we ever did.
Is that something you guys would like? Would you like the Dan Severn jukebox hour back? When Cliff and I sing a theme tune, the other person has to guess it, and clues and hilarity things like that. Is that something you guys would like?
Or do you like the merch check? Or
Yeah.
Right, when you're ready.
9 viewers, we're doing well, eh? Right, here we go. Toby, come on.
That's Eric Bischoff.
It is.
5, 3, 7.
They're never gonna know.
I don't think you got. I didn't think you got the memo. It's meant to be semi-hard.
So the week after this, I went the
Vampiro,
complete opposite
mate.
direction.
Vampiro from like,
Vampiro's mid-90s WCW theme that he used for about 4 months.
and I wasn't a WCW fan. So how the fuck am I meant to get that?
It's time, get in line, cause I'm gonna make some changes. Do you know,
He's a black belt in Taekwondo.
He is.
I listened to that and I can't even remember you saying that. Well, how do I not know that now about Eric Bischoff? Eric Bischoff, black belt in Taekwondo.
That's why Eric actually won loads of martial arts championships when he was younger.
No.
Yeah, no lie, yeah, he did, yeah. Yeah, I just stabbed myself in
That
foil.
was clever.
No, Bischoff actually won. He won loads of martial arts championships. That's why when he challenged Vince McMahon at the WCW pay-per-view,
Yeah.
he came out in his Taekwondo kit.
That's what he's just-
he got his big break.
I am so glad that Eric is back. I'm just.
But he's not meant to have so much control. I think Paul's got more creative control than he has.
It wouldn't surprise me because Eric's been out of the game for much longer. I think as it goes along, they'll start giving more and more back to Eric. He's just been out for so long. Right, what's next?
We've actually got something special happening here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
Go on, answer.
Is this when we called Theo?
Yeah. Well, no, he called us. while we were
Oh,
doing the podcast.
yes. We were all in the hotel
We're in the
room.
hotel.
We are live on the WRW pod, so please no fuck all Jeffin.
Oh my god, sorry. Okay, fuck it. We're
Please no effing or swearing. Okay, fuck it, is the response.
By young Theo himself. Say
Oh, Hodge.
Say hi, Theo.
Hodge would be a permanent feature on this podcast if he lived closer.
Yes.
And Ross.
Nesquik's a hell of a drug.
Nesquik's a hell of a drug.
I don't even know if we've got any of the Scottish boys on. What's the time there? You get that. Did I get that?
Hey, good lads.
None of the Scottish boys on. I was hoping at least one of them would be on while this clip was on.
This weekend, this is the opening to the WRW.
Nothing, boys.
ICW.
Nothing. If you're watching this back, nothing from you. Nothing. Nothing.
Amazing wrestling. Lovely.
Nothing.
Is this one like where it's just like when Podge gave us like the day old Savaloy did?
Yeah. Wee lads, got you this? Great.
It's like a day old.
It's cold.
I ate it. Like when we got back after the night out, I ate it, and it was the most delicious cement I'd ever chewed in my life. Do you remember the video I did in the old house with me in the suit jacket making my apology? I'm about peas pudding.
Listen to the quality of this.
What?
See if I recognise it.
The crowds.
So you're giving it a 4 because we're not going to get into this point.
No, because
You give it full. You give it a full star. Or a full star.
Is this when you got upset about Japanese fans?
hard.
Kenny!
So at this point, I want to give some background to this.
No. background needed.
So this was the
Cliff is a
first.
closet racist. That's the background.
No, this was the first ever real Japanese wrestling that I had watched live.
And it was because of Omega Okada, wasn't it?
Yeah, and so obviously, oh, there's producer Luke in that as well.
Red Hot Tamales, by the way. Amazing.
So basically, a bit of a background on it. Before I started doing the podcast, I was just WWE. I wasn't indie at all. I wasn't anything. So. Oh, look.
Lol, classic.
Based on somebody in the crowd.
So obviously, me watching New Japan live for the first time because I had actually seen AJ versus Shinsuke. Who sent it to me
From Wrestle Kingdom
I've
10.
seen Ricochet versus Ospreay, but this was the first show I'd ever seen.
That AJ Shinsuke match is still one of the best matches I've ever seen in my life.
Yes,
It's good.
top rope bloody
I would rank that-
Michinoku driver.
I would rank that match above any of the Okada Omega efforts. Controversial opinion,
No,
but I would.
I think it was the first ever Japanese match that I really got into, apart from the bits that I'd seen from Foley over the years.
Yeah.
So
And those are more sort of like watching a car crash. You can't help but go,
So yeah, so I'm not a closet racist. That is the butt of it.
not with that kind of negative attitude.
We are live from the Orange Room.
Yes!
Randy Orton is just right, Roman Reigns over the top.
So
Oh,
drunk.
I can't look at
Both of us are so drunk at this.
This was the only bit of energy I could find, wasn't it?
Yeah, because you're like out and not drinking. I was still bleeping out all the swears back then as well. And then our father messed it up. And then Randy came along and he chucked him over the top of Randy Orton. Yeah, I thought you were mooch because he just needed sugar.
I'm quite looking forward to seeing Cena. But to see the AJ Styles match from that night was so good.
Hey, Todd was there as well! Todd! Hello! We were talking you up earlier, you missed it. OG WRW people.
Only chant that's ever happened.
That is the only time you've ever heard "Thank you, Randy" chanted ever.
That could have been fucking like Mojo. We'd be like, thank you, Mojo.
You would have enjoyed that.
Oh.
In the Shed, one of the best segments we've ever done.
For a segment that I like to call
Ale the Seven Seas.
Genius.
Is it?
So how this works is we're going to present our dear friend Roderick here with a selection of the finest drinks that the world has to offer.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to
Breaking kayfabe, it was all wars up.
Rumble won me a WrestleMania booth at the Orange Drinks. Well, something good had to come out of it, didn't it?
But I'm not gonna like, alright? It's not gonna surprise me in the slightest with your cocktails and your fancy martinis. It's gonna be wonderful.
Okay, but I must warn you.
That's awful.
It works better on video. I've
My
got to-
face was so wet.
Like you came, I can't remember what top you came in, but you just pulled out this Goldberg t-shirt. It was like, well, I'm prepared for the segment.
It was my Goldberg Ragnar one, and the Who's Next shirt. I can still taste it.
Just water. That one was just water. That was the joke, wasn't it? That one was just
Thanks,
water.
Claire, for me.
That was joke. Did you get the joke? That was joke.
Round two. Now, this here is something you've probably had before. I
I've
believe
never
you have
laughed so
really
much
good
recording
Dragon
something.
Stout.
You've never seen my face get spit in repeatedly.
You can literally hear me break if you literally hear me.
I've not tried it.
You've
but
not
I can't
tried
wait.
it?
No.
Well, I am much more confident in this one.
Don't
You
I?
will absolutely love it. Drink
Ah,
up.
smells great.
Can you smell it? Oh, does it
Oh, it's gonna be
brings back,
wonderful.
brings back memories myself. I remember the day when I
That is just awesome.
Oh, we need to get it back in the shed.
We do.
Right, thumbs up if you want Roderick back in the shed. We need to have just a podcast with the three of us. We haven't done it for so long.
We've had a thumbs up from Mr. R. Rambunctious.
From Mr. Lloyd.
Who? Where do you find the clip? Where do you find the music that you put over the back of my
This is Bellowhead. It's a band called Bellowhead.
Is it licensed?
food is
Let's fucking hope not.
I didn't expect it.
They split up now, it's all good. And it's got 30 seconds. 30 seconds! You go in 30 seconds, and also, no one listens to our stuff anyway. I thought you'd find that music on Pirate Bay.
Ah! Get in the sea.
Hey. What a blank.
This is.
I'm trying to think of a pun.
And before we
Haven't got a
begin-
patch on him, have we?
You stop parroting my puns.
Hey.
What a cracker that was. Hey.
Bottoms up, I guess.
This was apple juice because that was the only thing we could drink, and we were like, "What should we call this? Apple teeny? That will do." He was drinking out of a half pint glass.
Whoa. It's like a symphony in me.
I love him so much.
He's the best, isn't he?
He's one of my favourite people we've met on our journey. He
Me too,
generally
he's
is.
the best.
We love all of you lot as well, but
Second time that was awful.
he's a classically trained actor. He is generally a
Should we
classically
talk straight about Roderick and his nan?
Yeah, do it quickly. This is about to change segment.
Probably shouldn't.
Shame he's not watching as well.
Maybe he is.
Maybe he just hasn't. Maybe the HMS Honda Civic hasn't got enough bandwidth for him to be able to comment.
Right, where are we going next?
I am joined by Luke. Hello. I'm joined by Laurie. I'm joined by Andy.
Oh, my Wrestle Talk interview.
So we are, to my knowledge, still the only people to actually interview all three of them. All three of them at the same time. We're generally, what I know of, still the only three people.
We've just seen interviews with Haskins, with Doug, with so many.
Well, no. You were. I wasn't. I was waiting downstairs for you, thinking, where the fuck are you?
I was doing my thing. Mingle, talk, chatting, weasel my way on into places.
Do you think that's possibly the highlight
Maybe Southampton based.
on that element of success?
No, I think the biggest highlight on this element of interviewing would probably be in the media scrum of the same day, like an hour before this.
Well, hold off, because that might be coming later.
Oh, tease.
I thought you were in the pub with us.
When
What? When we did this?
No, this is the progress. Hello Wembley. We started off there, and then we went off to go do the media stuff,
Dude,
where they had a free cooling fridge full of beer. So I ended up with a backpack full of.
So we had Jack the Jobber, I can't remember his name, the other one.
Sam Driver.
Sam Driver. And the WrestleTalk boys and someone from WrestleZone. WrestleZone. And we went up in the interval because one, we didn't need to have to queue for toilets. We could go in the VIP toilets, so we're in and out. We had to walk a little longer, but
For
we
a
still.
serial pisser such as myself was perfect. And there were sandwiches. You had to walk past sandwiches to get to the toilet. I don't get it. There were sandwiches.
Anyway, so long story short, basically, Mr. TDC, he opens up his bag and starts loading in the free Heineken that was in the Heineken bar. At this point, Laurie from WrestleTalk turned around and went, "Why didn't I think of that?" And Luke from WrestleTalk turned around and said, "Really, should we be doing this?" At that point, Toby turned around and gave him a beer going, "Yes, we should." It's free. It's free.
Friendship was born at that point. Hello, Wembley, aka the Forbidden Table Spot.
That's it. Yeah, the tables that
table
would never
not
break. Oh.
Not great. I mean, it's all funny up to the point the crowd start going, Barcher, and then you're just like, oh, it just takes away from it.
Yeah, I felt so sorry for those two.
The bloody Mandrews could. That poor man's head would not break the fucking table. Was it Mandrews? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was Mandrews and Eddie Dennis.
Yeah, that's what you want to use your company to get your shitty band over.
Robbie Constable got a message.
I've got a text.
Do you know who it is? It's Robbie.
No, Robbie, we're not calling the show Shove It Up Your Task.
On this card, in fact, are Trent Seven, kind of designated, etc.
Laurie's voice is audible butter, isn't it?
He's got a very good speaking voice. Same with, well, all three of them have, in their own little unique ways. You have Laurie, who's very deep, very old school radio. Then you've got Ollie, who's very a bit more excitable. And then you've got Luke, who's very.
Impression. That's pretty good.
I thought it was pretty good.
That's pretty good.
None of the rest of the Talk Boys listening now? No. Follow us on Facebook, though. Sorry, on Twitter.
Yes. Have you heard the story of how they? You know the story of why they follow us on Twitter, don't you? Do you know? Right. So I was walking up to the toilet, very, very drunk after the show, and Luke Owen is there on the stairs, and I'm like, Luke, and I'm like, where are you guys going for a drink afterwards? He's like, yeah, we're going here. I'm like, cool. I was like, and then we were talking about Twitter and stuff, and I was like, oh, give me your phone a sec. He gave me his phone, and I searched for WWF, and I hit follow on Luke's phone, and I then so I hit Luke on that, and I then made him follow me personally as well.
He follows you personally?
Yeah. Well, only because I hit follow on my own Twitter account. Because I had his phone in my hand.
I was quite proud of that fact. Now I feel quite ashamed.
The WrestleTalk account following us is completely organic. But Luke Owen following us was something I did when he gave me his phone.
But Laurie then followed us.
Exactly. So Laurie's beard intimidates me.
He's sexy now.
He does have a half.
If only we could grow beards like that. Who grows the better beard, me or Toby?
Who grows the better moustache, me or Clutch?
You.
Thank you.
Like someone touched on it a little bit there, as we said, like you've got.
What's been your highlight? We've asked this a couple of times, but have there been any genuine highlights that you guys have had from us?
True.
Message on there, please. Let us know.
Because you have to remember, I don't know what's coming up. Cliff, if it comes up, I might have a clue as to what's coming up based on his reaction.
Because I can't lie to say that.
I cannot tell a lie. Cliff Washington over there. Was that Cliff? Was it George Washington who said that? I cannot tell a lie? Or was that Abe Lincoln?
Honest Abe.
Honest Abe. Honest Abe. True. Of course it was. Orcs.
Wrestling podcast, and now we've gone to mentioning about
former US presidents. You learn everything here on the WWE.
These guys are actually generally into this as well. So one of the proudest moments we got our peers, I would say, recognition from our peers. Remember, you can recognise us as well. Please, we'll be going into this in the podcast, but please, it'd be lovely to see. Oh no, it was George Washington.
Ah, I was right first time. Thank you.
It'll be great to really see us move forwards. Now, we don't do this to make money. We don't do this to become famous. However, it would be nice to sort of start breaking that glass ceiling. And to do that,
Grab the brass ring, you might even say.
hey, that's some good shit. Anyway, it'll be great to see us start to move forwards. Now, we need your help. We really need your help, everybody. It'd be great for you to start sharing. Get your friends and wrestling friends involved. It'd be really nice to see us come back for our 100th episode in 50 episodes time and really go, do you remember when we were only on 200 followers?
Do you remember the 21st night
So,
September?
help us, help you. The more listeners we get, the more support we get, the more we can do.
Oh, honestly, the best moments I've had with you guys, always around the Lucha shows. Mate. Oh, hang on.
Which intro is the bumper or the whole shebang?
Can I be really polite?
This is my highlight. I asked Ollie politely for the whole Wrestle Talk intro.
And who's the only one that doesn't follow us?
Only one of them is part of that bumper. Yeah, I'm not in that support wrestle talk.
Right, I'm going to pull back the curtain here. When they were talking about the bumper, I had no clue what the fuck they were talking about.
This is where he needs me, because he has no idea what a bumper is.
Not dropping names.
Hang on, I was dancing as well. I was there, not break dancing like him.
It was AJ Styles. But then seriously, like just one guy who turned up to do some.
Yes, Polly, Shagger, that was the best. That's one of my favourite memories. The best chance on the way shops during the Greatest Royal Rumble. Yes.
What was that?
I watched the Greatest Royal Rumble with Todd, Kyle, Jesse, and that lot.
Yeah.
And we were chanting on the way to the shops. It was the.
What were you chanting?
Don't know, Cliff. I was very drunk.
Love that. He was grinding around.
I was.
If you watch the video back, it is out there. I have posted it on Twitter.
Yeah.
I have to fish it back out again.
Is it
Because
bad
we
to
were,
grind on the
he
ref?
started, and then I went, you were involved with grinding in the ref as well. I swear you were, Adam.
1, 2, 3.
Swear you were.
Support Wrestle Talk.
You know,
Be friendly in the comments.
yes, Scrappy Jack is right. Don't forget Outcast Pro Wrestling. The next show is Strings Bar, Newport, Isle of Wight, 17th of August. Cliff, who's going to be doing the ring announcing for that show?
Nick, no.
No, I'm not
T.D.
doing
Barnum.
it. Exactly, I'm not
T.D.
doing it.
Barnum.
I'm not doing it. My much more handsome and debonair counterpart, T.D. Barnum, will be announcing the show. You can come see great people like Scrappy Jack, like JJ Belair. They're all going to be there. It's going to be incredible. Victor Logan. It's going to be amazing. Make sure you come. Matt Jackson, the new Isle of Wight champion, Max Carnage.
He's the Outcast Pro Wrestling champion. Kelly Six going to be there this time around? Or?
I'm not sure, but I'll tell you where Kelly Six will be, definitely.
What's that?
Kelly Six, the current Strike champion, will be at Strike 6 at Halo on August 18th, the next day after. And of course, this is an 18+ event.
So you can shout, kick his fucking.
Oh! YouTube clip.
True.
Scrappy Jack versus Johnny Vera versus Hardcore. Yes, two of my favorite guys from Outcast Pro Wrestling. Take it on. That's going to be incredible.
Sat outside Westgate singing the WWE theme. Is that what you were doing?
Yes, we were. I can't. Todd, can you remember it? Can you type out who it was, who we put in the words? Because I cannot remember.
We're just gonna be.
You were late for the show, Toby. We were sat outside Westgate for you, and it just descended into madness.
Like every night out, everybody's ever had with Toby, to be honest.
My guys, I'm terribly sorry. This is outrageous.
Ollie, what are you most looking forward to tonight?
Well, obviously,
I think we've gone back.
Yeah.
We've already done this.
No, I don't think so. It wasn't very well organised.
It's Robinson and Chuck.
Oh,
It was just a chat.
no, because somebody interrupted.
We got Rollins, oh, Bala Bala, and Johnny Gargano. Come on, what came next? What came next? Come on. Come on. Oh,
I think it's the reason why I put the segue bit in was because you were
I forgot who we
interrupted.
lost.
They still are lost. They're still lost out there.
Come on, right, let's come up with that. Probably Epico. That works. That works. Here we go. Come on, Cliff. We've got Rollins. Oh, bala bala do 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 do. And Johnny Gargano. And probably Epico. 1, 2, 3. We've got Rollins. Do 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 do. Oh, bala bala do 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 do.
The famous morning
rolls.
This little conversation took, and this is when I was just getting back into it, because you hear the bings, it took roughly about 3 hours to edit because the amount of See You Next Tuesday said. So it was literally, you can hear the little bings.
How English do I sound in this conversation?
I was blanking out all the shits or everything. That's when I made the rule that the only swear word we would blank out
Would be.
See you next Tuesday.
I will get him to say it on YouTube. You won't.
No,
He'll be there for
I do not
posterity
want
purposes.
this video written down.
Oh, that kind of thing.
Never.
Never. Never. Never.
It's really hot.
Sweating one out, mate. I'll be honest with you.
Well, I would open the windows, but I'm holding the speaker.
Shall I go open the windows?
Yes. You're talking about McGee's morning rolls. Because any other Southerners, or even Americans on here, morning rolls is just a crispy roll. But the
They're not
Scottish,
crispy. They're not crispy. They're not crispy.
they glazed rolls.
No, they're not. They're not crispy. Let me come back.
It's just a glazed roll.
No, they're not glazed. They're more fired on the outside, but not to the point of being crispy. This is the. Have you ever had a morning roll?
No, we were going to have one when we were up in Scotland. Never did.
Right, but
Never had
Aldi, they
square
actually sell them in Aldi.
sausage. Really?
They do. They do.
So they sell square sausage?
No, we're not.
No,
that
morning
lucky.
rolls are the soft ones.
They are correct. But they're a bit tougher on the outside and softer on the inside. Ross.
Your Ross has got the
He's
best
got the
voice.
best voice in show.
I genuinely thought, when I heard Ross's voice editing this, that Ross was going to be this hairy biker dude. And then I met him in real life, and he was generally the most attractive man you've ever seen in your life.
Devilishly handsome.
He
isn't
is. That's why it took 3 hours. Listen.
Ross, you're the best ding. That was a long bell.
That was an extended See You Next Tuesday.
The McGee's Bakery. Classic Theo. Amazing.
Lesps. So it's not a crisp, is it?
Oh, I love crisps.
You haven't got any crisps.
No, I haven't. I didn't actually bring the snacks this time.
Oh,
I
that's
just
depressing.
bought Prosecco, which is no bad.
I love that drum Toby's just given up running out what morning roll is. Is it really a cob though?
No, it's not cob.
So I think you just gave up in your drunken stupor trying to find out what bloody morning roll
I
was.
think I'd had my first. The investigative journalism side of me was gone at this point.
This was early on in our fucking WRWR
I think
podcast.
I've been given my first drink of Buckfast at this point.
I think you do turn around. Who was up there with you?
Tom Rob. What's in my bag, amazing Cliff? Tell me what's in my bag.
You bastards.
A lump of cheese, 2 slices of beef, and
Kevin Thorne's vampire teeth.
This one's quite recent though. I think this is the most recent thing on here.
Is this the DX jelly?
No.
Forever, Terry Funk.
Are you retiring in this?
No, it's your turn.
Is it?
I did it last week.
Who's retiring? Right, on Twitter. Sorry, on the Twitter, on the comments. Who's retiring Terry Funk this week?
famous big segment that sort of changes, but we're keeping it going. It's time for the merch.
See, me and Toby do like to play this game or throw each other under the bus. It is quite entertaining to do generally.
In my bag.
If you didn't know, the only time we ever really edit is when we make each other laugh. And we have been sat here for about half an hour before, in between, for you, a millisecond.
Keith.
For us, Keith, yeah, the famous Keith.
Trent 7 Army.
Now, going back 2 years ago.
Oh, my love letter to Trent Seven.
I think it was a bit.
Had to go in there.
time for wrestling.
Your love letter. So,
You
has anybody ever known a man love a wrestler more? Oh, let's say.
Jagger, correct. Rest in peace, Harley
Oh,
Race.
yes, good point. Yes,
Cheers.
rest in peace, Harley Race. Thank you.
That's
very
a Harley
much.
Race.
It's Harley Race.
The engine rooms. Let's go back to the engine rooms. We are leading up.
No,
We are leading
very,
up
very
to
sad
the-
news today. Very sad news.
The leader of the Trent 7 Army. Trent 7
Very, very sad news.
literally exploded in
Now you've deflated him.
All of a sudden, he's got the people on support.
Look,
he's doing his little
because you're
golden-
talking about, I've never seen a man relax so much, listen to his own voice because he's talking about Trent
So we're
7.
there. I love you, Trent. We're banging the
He's
doors.
not watching it.
The only man- the best Trent Seven story, and I think it's coming up on there, is just when we was looking for the cigarettes. Does it come up on here?
No, we never mentioned this on here. Should we mention on it?
Right. So, yeah, we'll definitely do it. I mean, definitely in a permanent thing such as YouTube, this is the best place to share this story. But yeah, behind the scenes.
No
behind the
one's
scenes-
tagging in it, for
Behind-
God's sake.
That's not a gauntlet. That's not a gauntlet. But no, behind the scenes. So on the famous and fabled Toby and Cliff night out with Trent Seven and Jack Jester, we're walking
And
back.
Scott Reed.
What a boy, Scott Reed. He was the highlight of the night.
Yeah, he
Apart from
truly
me
was
and Trent
really
arm in arm singing Oasis together. That was the.
Or Jack Jester trying to get into
Oh, shit, no, it wasn't. Switch.
Switch.
Switch. Yeah, so
Because
apart
he ain't got
outside
any
of
ID.
Trent and I arm in arm singing Oasis together, highlight was we were walking down. It's not London Road. What's the one on the other side? Not
It
Beavis
was
Valley
London
Road.
Road.
Is it London Road? Yeah,
London
yeah,
Road.
yeah.
Where you got all the
chippies.
Chicken Land.
Yeah.
Chicken Land, where you go in there. It's
So
like a
we're
fucking nightclub. Boom, 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 boom.
So we're walking down London Road, and Trent he's gagging for a cigarette, gagging, but he's not got any cigarettes with him.
And he
he's like,
didn't want one of mine because mine
Were menthol.
weren't menthol. No, weren't
menthol. And he was like, "Wait, lads, wait, lads, I can't do the accent now." Oh,
lads.
that's it. Wait, lads. Birmingham. And he was like, one of these shots, one of these shots you're facing Walter at WD Card. Agreed. It should be Trent.
Yes.
It should be. Because he was screwed. His foot was under the rope. Under the rope. But so we're walking down and we're going past. We've been on a night out and we're walking past all these fish and chip shops. And he goes, "One of these is going to sell cigarettes." I said, Trent. I said, Trent, I've been here. I've lived here for years, mate. None of these will sell cigarettes. You're not allowed to.
You watch fish and chip shops always sell cigarettes.
And he went, the first one he went in, he walks out and he goes,
No. So I went in there with him. He goes, "You got cigarettes, lads?" And they were like, "Yeah." And he went, "Not them ones, they're not menthol." And he was like, "We haven't got a selection." "No, do that." Yeah, do not tag him, for God's sake.
He ends up buying a pack of cigarettes in a fish and chip shop after I blatantly told him.
I bought a battered sausage as well.
The real highlight of this story is Cliff buying the battered sausage. This is
Talcum battered sausage.
that night will forever live long in the memory. Us and Jester trying to get into Switch. They wouldn't.
Junk, wasn't it?
No. Junk was further on. Switch, just a big one down the bottom, like near KFC.
Yeah, it was that one.
We were trying to get in, and they wouldn't let us all in because Jack Jester, the big, muscly, long-haired, bearded man,
Covered in scars from the amount of death matches he's done.
didn't have his ID with him. He didn't have a driving license, so they wouldn't let him in.
And they were saying to him, he was like, "Yeah, I can see I'm over 18." And it was like, "Yeah, that's not
Reeves. We trying to get the Reeves. You can see I'm over 18. Yeah, he just wouldn't let us in.
It's because they said that they were having loads of fights in there. And they had to do it for like identity purposes.
There we are with future WWE NXT Tag Team Champion Trent Seven and ICW. Oh shit, was that the night I was Ringside Photographer? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yeah, that was exactly the night. Yeah. Todd, Walter versus Bate at Wembley was the best match I've seen. It's a great show.
It was awesome. But then saying that from that night,
How excited were we for the
it was when they came out. She came out with the violins. Is it Walter? Oh, we're not doing trans. Oh, text message.
Oh, Cliff. Professionalism's gone. It's gone out the window.
How do you stop that? Sorry, apologies, guys and girls.
Where do you work, Cliff?
In a sweatshop.
Anyway, so
That was when we were talking about the incident at the what's it called? The train station. At the train station with Trent.
Yes, where Trent picked up all of the Black Labels merch.
Yes.
So
is that they're gonna kill me?
Imperium. Yes.
acquaint yourself with a certain
See, do you,
Prince Evan once again.
question? Do you keep this name Imperium or would you go for Ring Camp?
It is. It's
The night I met you guys. Damn right, Todd. Damn right.
Was that the night? No, the night the
So we go there.
ICW show before that was when you met us.
What's happened here?
Don't know.
Oh, hang on.
Hang on.
Technical difficulties. Look at the
Please
hamster.
Do.
No, Cliff.
Oh no, go away.
Oh
Ricochet.
no.
Hang on, don't worry. You just chat.
Okay.
But Trent had every.
It's the gladly.
Oh,
Especially when it's on the ring apron.
Which I've been it down because
God. Hang on, please don't. God, technical difficulties. Talk amongst yourselves.
Okay. Whilst Cliff is doing this, ask TDC anything. Get the questions up. Ask me anything, and let's go.
Gonna talk.
That was the night. In my mind, the insane Trent Seven Army.
Headlined by Drew versus Doug Williams.
Yes.
We're having a party when
Trent's the champ. We're having a party.
Wolfgang spots me in the crowd.
Takes my shirt.
Takes my shirt.
Correct.
Yeah, the first real rivalry we ever had. After that, Dave Mastiff.
I won that.
Still the only professional wrestler to block the podcast.
No, not the only one.
No. But he's not a professional wrestler.
Was he ever?
Yes, but he isn't anymore.
David Otunga.
So he got Dave Mastiff to block us. Well,
I didn't even get him to block us.
go on, explain the story.
All that happened was WOS was like they just released their pilot, and Mastiff was like, "This is the biggest thing to ever happen in British wrestling." And I just gotten back from my first Fear and Loathing. I was like, "Do you miss a certain show at the Hydro there, Dave?" Blocks. That was all I did.
No, you did have. He said something else back to you, or went, "How many people was that televised to?" And you said, "Well, subscribers saying that there's so and so amount of ICW subscribers that have signed up for this."
Oh no, I said 9,000 people were in the arena. Yeah. He said how many people paid for that? I was like 9,000 people in the arena.
Yeah. And then he blocked it. And then mine was David Otunga because his wife was on The Voice or something.
Yeah, Jennifer Hudson.
Yeah, and I turned around and said, "Well, let's just hope that David Otunga doesn't come out to do commentary." Blocked. And I mean, he must have some sort of group working on his Twitter, or not many people message about David Otunga. That the point of he saw it straight away and blocked. Literally a second. A second. Man, it was like I checked, so I posted it, and I just wanted to check it was the right David Otunga, and it came up blocked. And then I sent it to you.
Why are you asking?
You told me off.
Okay.
I get told off all the time. Believe it or not, me being the one that edits all this, I'm usually the one with the level head. However, I do get a bit excitable on that.
He does get excitable, bless him. God bless his little cons. He does get excitable. Now, normally, you know, when it comes to being excited, it's normally my jam. I see these signs. I see them. It's hot, isn't
On the
it?
ring,
It is really hot.
which I've been reliably informed.
Really,
is the
really hot in
hardest
the
part.
shed.
I'm starting to sweat one out.
What?
Actually, do you know what? Here we go, name drop. I was having a conversation with Luke Owen,
Humble brag.
and we were talking about how hot it was in here. So the last podcast we did, they went out drinking with Steve-O from Going in Raw. So they went in. Anyway, so I said about how hot it was in here, and he just replied back going, "Yep, our studio is exactly the same." There you go. So something about places where we record these things. Go on, Toby.
So hot.
Open the door for a bit.
Then Trent gets the win.
Open the door for a bit. Let's just give everyone a headache.
Just erupt, reaching into my backpack.
It's like all this cold air just goes leaking
Like
in.
stream of party poppers are going off in the crowd.
So
Trent looks over, has a little smile. He's clearly living in the moment.
Yes.
And he walks around, and it's just me with a shit party hat, a party popper.
I bought party hats and party poppers for this.
Where are they?
My bag inside, I ain't getting them. I generally did as well. But
Yes.
we also bought loads of party supplies for Progress as well.
And he gets up to the
I mean, no, I'm not going to tell the story now.
No.
not
And
telling the
I'd say
story.
one big party popper for this. He goes,
When Trent won the ICW title for the first time in Newcastle, I've literally fought my way to the front, and we're having a party with party poppers and hats and everything. And he looks over and he gives a little smile, and it's just me leaning over the barricade with a hat and a party popper going, huh? Huh? And he's like, no. And he gets to the top of the stage, turns around, we make eye contact again, and I just go,
In summary, do you think that there will be ever because we've seen some great merch over the years.
Mhm.
However, the emotional attachment that we both have to this very much as
the shirt no longer fits either of us. I would like to point out now.
I'll tell you what, that is one entertaining thing to do, and that's how much weight Cliff and Toby have put on.
Don't body shame me, Cliff.
We have put on so much weight over the years.
there might be.
I bought that Trent 7 Army shirt in a medium.
It used to fit both of us in medium
Medium.
t-shirts.
Then the 20 chicken nugget cast came, and it was all game over.
Then he turned vegetarian and still didn't lose it. What can you actually generally eat as a vegetarian that's going to make you fat?
I
Apart from
don't know,
cheese.
it's carbs, isn't it? I think a lot of them eat carbs. So many carbs. And cheese, yeah, loads of cheese. Love cheese. Cheese is the best.
So we are coming to you live from within the bowels of the SSC Hydro. It's very soon to be. But first off, I'm going to introduce myself. I, of course, am 6 stars from Wilson. And 2 sweet.
Yeah, I love that. You used to have to do the bloody intro every time.
Jericho. Join me, lads, and take a punt, because on this podcast, we're not allowed to say the words.
Marvelous.
I genuinely was scared for my life that this was going to turn into that sort of section.
Does that mean I'm Monday? Can I say it again?
This is Ross.
Can I say it again? I'm Monday?
Yes. 11, 59, 58, 11, 59, 59.
Up to man.
So many beats.
So many people.
Fight Club is in the rearview mirror. It's long up behind us. And we're joined by somebody
The
else.
size of that spider on the wall.
2 more people. Fellow co-host.
Oh, hello, it's Ross. It's
Oh, hello, it's Ross.
Oh, it's us. Is there a man with a sexier voice? He does sound like Chris Renfrew.
He does, he
What happened
does.
to Chris Renfrew?
He retired.
Does anybody know what happened to Chris Renfrew?
He would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for those meddling kids.
this is your opportunity to really give a heartfelt message.
NAK. New Age Clip.
She knew I was about it. She's fine with it. I gave her.
What is it? Have ICW had a big stable? Dirty Generation?
Black Label.
Black Label, Dirty Generation? Who's ICW's biggest stable? Go on.
He's not wrong. I think it's got to be other Black Label because you're thinking that you had Drew Galloway, you had Kid Fight, you had Jack Jester, you had Red Lightning. They ran it for so long, I think the Bucky Boys are one of my faves.
WR Podcast Live. Of course, I'm
Talk
talking
about
about Mark Wahlberg,
Black Label.
DTEC. Find me at DC47 Commissioner. I'm joined by.
Of course, Cliff, the amazing Cliff on Twitter, and we are accompanied by the one, the
Black Label, good segue.
Good, I'm very well. I'm tired.
Bram.
Bram. This is when we actually had our first. This is our first breaking news, wasn't it? This is after he just beat the shit into Ray V. Davey. Like literally beat the piss into Ray V. Davey, and no, the wrestling world didn't know if it was real or not.
But let's stay quiet. What sort of inspires you to do that sort of thing, to sort of give it back to the people?
I'm knackered.
Well, I mean, I've got a lot of time on my hands. So to be honest, it's
Slight understatement.
I'm doing nothing, eating bad food and drinking.
We'll come back to the question,
I
Rudy.
stay busy, and England's such a hotbed for it. It's what I do. It's what I enjoy. It's my career. It's how I make a living. So it's something that I have to do anyway. Just so
Love
I can,
Bram.
live.
Excellent, excellent. So, as we say, tonight has been a personal highlight for myself. Obviously, the wrestling seminar with yourself was incredible. I learned so much from that. Just
I
being
did
there
well.
and being around some of the
I'm so sorry I ended up in Wilco's car
Thank you very
park.
much. But the first time I saw you was at an ICW show. That was the first time I'd seen you live. So, talk to us about your time on an ICW, like some highlights, some particular stories. What really struck out for you from your time there?
That place I like just because I can be me. I grew up an Attitude Era kid, so
Yeah.
I like stone cold flipping off people and chicks getting stunnered and people drinking beer and people bleeding and the guts to violence, all that's kind of gone now in pro wrestling. So ICW is the closest thing that I can get to that, and so I can just be me and I can be a real piece of crap there and get real legitimate heat for being what I'm supposed to be, which is a heel.
Yeah.
So it's a special place to me because people do generally hate me there, and are terrified of me. I love
It's
it,
true.
For example, we just did a
That's
thing
one of
with
the
Baby David where smashed up his wedding and all this kind of stuff and beat his face in. And people hate me for it, so I'm doing my job.
Obviously, if you're getting that feelings out of people, you're doing something right as a heel. What's next for you at ICW?
I think I'm going to continue feuding with Baby Davey for a while, and then I'm not too sure. I know that I will be at the big show at the Hydro. I think it's November 19th.
Breaking news of that as well.
Other than that, I'm just going back to TNA in a couple of days. I guess we'll just see what the plan is for me. I presume that they're going to try and Miranda repackage me, so I guess I'll just see how that goes.
They definitely did not try and repackage Bram.
Just lump it.
Yeah. So, as we said, we were obviously talking earlier after the wrestling seminar. You said your contract is coming up soon there. What's next for you in the world of wrestling? Not just that.
I don't know. I kind of actually want to get back into some of the crappy acting that I've been doing. Like I just on Netflix now. Checkpoint has just come out.
Has anyone actually generally seen
I've not watched
Checkpoint?
it, but I know it's on there.
Because I have.
Bram hasn't watched it. He himself said he hasn't watched
No,
it.
I haven't watched it yet. I bet you. Tell you what, now we do this interview 2 years on, and I bet he's still not bloody watched it. Who has actually seen Was it Checkpoint? Checkpoint. I didn't even know what it's called. I'm gonna check it out. Right. When we come off of this, the mission for all of you is to go and switch on your Netflix
Is it
account
even
and go.
still on Netflix?
Let's find out. Let's find out. All of us together, we're gonna find out.
Please go and get some
Oh, he
sleep.
came all the way from bloody Germany with an injured knee as well, didn't he?
We walked in and we found him asleep in the corner.
And we were told specifically
Do
by
not wake Bram.
Robbie Nitro, first time. Lovely to see you guys. Yeah, don't break up, Bram. Alexander. Jim Smallman. Jim Smallman. And there's not all of this interview, but there's just a specific moment because there was one person that piped up at the beginning. It wasn't the Sun. Was even getting involved there. The first person not to ask a question wasn't Sun, wasn't Telegraph,
Wasn't the Daily Mirror.
It was the WRW pod.
A small question for you guys. Do you think you'll ever be able to run shows in central London?
No, never.
Yeah.
We'll definitely never
Smashed it. You asked 3 questions. You asked 3 questions. Literally, I had no doing it either. I just stood there with the dictaphone. All I did. He took over. He took control. And it was, I mean, We had all the Wrestle Talk boys, we had all the Cultaholic boys, Wrestle
The
Zone.
long-haired chap from the Daily Mirror who does the wrestling content.
Yeah, you had all the big journalists there. And the most onengaged reaction that we got was actually from Toby's message, question. So, what's up to you? I only put that bit in there just because that was just. I've never been prouder of you. Not when I've been waiting fucking for material from you. Hence why there was no bloody show from Square Go. Remember? I waited like 6 weeks for that information. I was like, give up, man.
Ouch.
So this is the last one. It's our reactions to...
Say my name, I'm history!
Oh my God, we're here at the end of Paradise. Lionheart is not retiring. He is your new ICW World Heavyweight Champion. Hans, what did you think of that?
Absolutely fantastic. Great ending. Great to see him finally with
What we're listening to right now is the
live reactions.
this is the live reaction straight after Lionheart won his retirement match against Jackie Polo to win the ICW World Title at Fear and Loathing. This was the last time we saw him live, and probably his crowning moment, and we were there to see that.
And that's the reason why I left that one to the end, because obviously we lost Lionheart this year. Generally, he was the first British independent wrestler that I got into, as we've said before, and I thought that was a really fitting end to it. To hear you and Hodge belting that out in pure, just yeah. I know it's a really hard way to end that. But I think it was needed.
It's a celebration, isn't it?
So, ladies and gentlemen,
this has been a celebration of WRWR Pod.
Now, as I said, that you've got the exclusive, guys. That is the highlight reel. That does not mean you do not listen to the podcast. Right, bit at the end, something that you don't know at the beginning, so you don't know at the end. No, generally, guys, I just want to leave this before we go off and record the last bit of the podcast. I just want to leave this YouTube live to say thank you so much for everybody attending. It's great to see, you're all getting involved with the live comments. I generally don't think this is the last time we're going to do this.
No, this has actually been really, really good. There was a question that was asked, and I do want to answer it.
Okay.
What's your favorite modern day finisher and why? Which was asked by Rudy.
Kinshasa.
I was going to say the exact same thing.
Kinshasa, because it just makes me jump out my seat.
I love the Kinshasa. I loved it when it was the Bomaye knee,
Bomaye.
which was amazing. The Kinshasa was great. I will pick a different one because you chose that. And I will go with The Eclipse by Ember Moon.
I do like, I do like that. A
Eclipse.
stunner from the top rope.
Well,
Yes.
twisting. It looks great every time.
Yeah.
But that's incredible. So guys, thank you. Rest in peace, Lionheart.
Yeah,
there
thank
will
you
never
very
be
much,
another. Incredible.
We're going to leave you with this. This podcast is never done through money. You hear podcasts all the time say,
Sign up to Patreon.
We keep this free because you do this, and this. Yeah, no, bollocks to that. We won't ever do anything like that. Wow. Yeah, maybe later for Patreon. When we've actually got something worth giving. No, generally it's an honor to do this for all you guys. Generally, when we come and meet you at these events, we are one of you. We will never see ourselves as anything else.
It's the thing that
we're not really at the moment.
The most pressing thing for us is it's always been about a wrestling family. It's always been about a wrestling family, and as we've gone on, our wrestling family has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, from it starting as a group of 2, 3, 5, now up to 200 followers on Twitter. Is it 300?
No, over 200.
Over 200 on
yeah,
Facebook.
over 200.
And every show we go to, down from old friends to new friends, special shout out to Simon Main as well. New friends there, new opportunities that have been given our way. For example, without the WRW pod and without the support and friendship of all of you guys, I would not be doing ring announcing for shows like this. It's as a result of this podcast and this success that we have, and this guy here, that we have an opportunity like that to do things like that. It's as a result of Cliff taking the lead. in a little group of podcasters and media influencers and things like that in relation to progress. Not a lot of people know that. He'll never tell you that himself, but I will. Cliff has now taken the lead on that, and he's doing a sterling job. So without
Leader of a batch of fellow peers and trying to get them engaged behind things.
So without all of you guys, these opportunities don't come up. You know, without the courage and strength you give us, and the ability and the confidence, and as I've said the word so many times, but the friendship that we all share. You know, as I said right at the beginning, wrestling is weird. We're all a bit weird for liking grown men in pants oiled up pretending to punch each other. No. But ultimately, it's something we all find passion in. We all become one with it. We all share. When Lionheart passed, we all shed a tear. Nothing brings people together more than wrestling. And that's the important thing I think that we want to say. You know, here at WRWR Pod, we're creating our own wrestling family. And everybody here is a part of it. Everybody who's listened to one podcast, everybody's been a part of one interview, anybody who's asked one question, any interaction you've had, we consider you guys family. So this is a huge thank you from us to you guys. 50 episodes, 50 times we've got to sit down together and share our thoughts, our feelings, and we cannot thank you enough.
No, definitely not. There are so many podcasts out there. There are so many groups out there that you just see them just put out the same old shit. We'll be really honest with this.
Tell us what you really think, Cliff.
No, and you see them and they're not producing their own products. And what we said from day one is
for the love of wrestling. Yes, really.
Everything we produce will be our own. Every opportunity we get, we'll be given it, not through us ass kissing anybody. We will get it because we deserve it. And we deserve you lot. And we do. And don't get me wrong, you know, it'd be great to have more followers, listeners, things like that. If we have more of that, that means we can go on to do better things. So one day we might be able to make a living off of this. If we can make a living, we can make daily material. We can go to all the more wrestling shows. If we made, obviously, if that ever came from that. However, thank you to every single one of you. As Toby said, even if you've just left us a message in the past, if you've walked up to us at shows, but the major important thing is I'm not going to go David Starr because watch Blooming Robbo's promo. I'm not going to go David Starr on this, say independent wrestling, but we are wrestling. If it isn't for us guys that go to these local shows,
us as in every single one of you.
If you're not going out there and supporting CWP, if you're not going out there and supporting Outcast Pro Wrestling, if you're not going out there supporting Strike Wrestling, if you're not going out there and even supporting the bigger boys such as Progress Wrestling, there will not be such a thing. We will be
your local scene. I'm talking about my local scene back where I'm from. I'm talking CSF. I'm talking Combat Sports Federation. Yeah. Shout out Natty. I'm talking Chaos Pro Wrestling. Shout out Dave Mercy, one of the soundest blokes in professional wrestling. Whatever your local wrestling scene is, even if it's not up to the big standards of what you expect, man, support that scene. Without you guys going to these shows, it doesn't happen.
And we will continue to be that mouthpiece. You've got our promise from that. The funny thing is that me and Toby never see this as a chore. It was going to be originally called the kayfabe for you, a bit of a break in. It was originally going to be called the Drunk Wrestle Ramble. And we decided maybe not getting drunk during these things is a good idea.
Remembering wrestling, wasn't it?
It was remembering
was going to be really long.
Yeah, remembering wrestling. That is what WRWR stands for. Remembering wrestling. Do not forget about your local promotions. Remember them. If it wasn't for this guy here, I wouldn't be into indie wrestling. Okay? Remember.
If it wasn't for this guy here editing podcasts, we wouldn't have this.
True.
It is literally true. And on that note, WR Pod 50.
I have been the amazing Cliff.
I, of course, have been the TDC.
And we would like to say thank you to all 9 of you that we've been flashing up, to everybody in that comments. Did we have 10? We broke double figures. Bugger this Wrestle Talk trying to get to 600,000. Us getting to bloody 600 would be nice. No, generally, thank you so much. Go out there, share this. Go and share the podcast. Go and listen to the podcast. Go and back us. If you back to all those wrestlers listening, if you back us, we can back you. Remember that, okay?
Let's go grab that brass ring. Let's go grab that brass ring together.
He's gonna grab a brass ring. Ah!